What I like about what you're saying is that it challenges us to look way deeper than just the external behavior of the child, and it forces us, or it encourages us to dig deep down for the root causes and for the possible solutions also to this problem. So your research, given this information about the 4 different wounds, how would that challenge or change the way that we approach behavioral problems, like you mentioned, bullying in schools? How would we do that differently?
Yeah. We have to remember that children is not born to behave in such a way. Those children have been taught to behave in that way, which means that something at home had to happen for them to learn that kind of behavior, because that kind of behavior is called survival mechanisms.
Yeah.
It's just to help them cope with certain pressures and environments existing at home. And a lot of the time, those environments are traumatic to the child, and they don't know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So they get defensive mechanisms. They get they get isolation skills to isolate them from people in a way to protect themselves from getting hurt. Now, research has proven that bullies in general, sits with emotions, powerful emotions like fear, guilt, and shame.
Yeah.
Now, the home environment is a very powerful and the most influential factor in a child's life. What happens there will determine the kind of person the child will become once he's a grown-up, and also his way of thinking, his way of behaving, and that is determined by the values demonstrated by the parents. If you have a child that is constantly broken down by the parents, that is got this underlying frustration because he feels he's been unfairly treated, especially when other siblings are involved, you will find that there's a lot of anger building up. And he might not experience the home as a safe place to discharge that anger. So he will get to school and find somebody that look vulnerable. Mm-hmm. Now, that depends also on a child's temperament. If he has a very kind of aggressive nature in temperament, he will become the bully. If you have a child whose temperament is more withdrawn, more keeping to one side, isolating themselves from social interaction, that child will become the victim. And so when you speak about bullying, you cannot just address the child, because the child, to say again, wasn't born like that. You have to involve the family and see what is going on in the family environment. That's the first point. Then the second point is you need to involve the teacher, because teachers are also a lot of the times the cause of children being bullied. Teachers a lot of the times make comments and statements concerning children on their intelligence. Statements like "you're stupid," "you'll amount to nothing one day." Those statements are feeding the peers that listen to that, and the peers take the teacher's opinion and make it their opinion. And then they will victimize that child based on just what the teachers say. So teachers also have to be involved in this process if you want to address this issue of bullying. But it's got to start at home.